Casey was sure his son, Logan, would treasure it for years to come. But when he gave the ball to his son, the boy wasn't so excited about it. In fact, he just looked at it and put it off to the side. Casey was so disappointed. "Logan, don't you like the ball?" he asked. "Yes, Dad," he said, "but I'd like it a lot better if somebody hadn't written all those names on it." Like little Logan, we must learn to enjoy the simple things in life. Today, everything is so complicated. We have 500 channels on TV. The internet floods us with information. Now we can access all these distractions on our cell phones and iPads, as well as other devices. We can never escape from our work or our diversions. If you're not careful, you will fall into the trap of thinking that you should always be busy. You must always be involved in something big and exciting. Or slow down and enjoy the simple things. Turn off the TV and spend more time with your family. Take a walk. Go for a bike ride. Play games together. Do those special things that you don't need to pay for. No ticket required. You can have great wealth and still be miserable and lonely. Or you can have very little and be happy and fulfilled. It's all in your approach to life. A wealthy father decided to show his 7-year-old son how the poor people live. They drove from the big home in the city to a little farm in the country where this friend and his poor family lived. They spent the night with the family in their little wood-framed house. They had no television, no fancy furniture, no carpet. Since there was no entertainment in the house, this family sat out on the front porch where they sang songs, told stories, and laughed together. After being there 2 nights, the wealthy father and his son headed back home. The father was very curious to see if his son had learned his intended lesson. So he asked him how he liked it. The little boy said, "Oh, Dad, I really loved it." The dad said, "Well, son, do you see how poor people can be?" "Yes, Dad, I do," he replied. The dad said, "Well, tell me exactly what did you learn?" The little boy said, "Well, Dad, I learned that we have a dog at home and they have 4. We have a swimming pool in the middle of our backyard, but they have a stream with no end. We have fancy lanterns on our house, but they have the stars. We watch TV by ourselves at night, but they sit around as a family and have fun." His dad shook his head, knowing that his plan had backfired. But then his son added, "Dad, thank you so much for showing me how poor we really are." If you have people in your life to love, you are rich. If you have your health, you are rich. If you can hear your little girl's footsteps coming down the stairs, you are rich. If you can talk with your family about nothing, you are rich. Slow down and enjoy the simple things in life. Take more walks through the park. Look at the stars at night and think about God's goodness. When you wake up in the morning, don't just drink your coffee. Sip it and say, "Oh," ignite that moment. Don't let yourself become so focused and driven, so busy with what you have to do each day that you miss the miracles along the way. Imitate Frank Lloyd Wright and start zigzagging. Start enjoying the different things God has put in your life. Someone said, "It's not that life is so short, it's that we wait so long to begin." Why don't you begin today? Hug your children before you leave each day. Give your spouse a kiss. Call your parents and tell them how much you love them. Go visit those relatives you've been meaning to see. Life is short. We're not here forever. It's good to work hard, but learn how to turn it off. Stay in balance and play hard as well. If you'll make the decision to slow down and enjoy the journey, you will experience the fullness of what God has in store for you. When you come to the end of your life, you'll have no regrets. You'll be able to say, "I made the most of my time. I enjoyed my family. I enjoyed my friends, and I finished my course with joy." Part 2, Know What to Ignore. Chapter 6, The Right Perspective. It's easy to focus on what's wrong in life, what you don't have, how big your obstacles are. But if you're not careful, you will lose sight of all the good things God has done for you. Don't take for granted the family, friends, and opportunities He's blessed you with. If you're in such a hurry, and so stressed that you fail to appreciate the gift of today, you'll lose your joy and your ability to be happy every day of the week. It's all about keeping things in perspective. Business may be slow, but it's the wrong perspective to think, I'll never make it. The right perspective is, God is supplying all of my needs. If you're going through a disappointment, the wrong perspective is, I should have known this would happen. I never get any good breaks. But the right perspective is to believe that when one door closes, God will open up another door. You can put two people in the exact same circumstances, and one will be complaining, negative, just enduring life, while the other will be happy, grateful, and enjoying life. What's the difference? Their perspective. It's how each chooses to see the situation. We all have burdens that can steal our joy and cause us to be sour. But if we're going to live happy, we need the foundation of a grateful spirit. I've learned seeds of discouragement cannot take root in a grateful heart. If you are unhappy today and lost your enthusiasm, the quickest way to turn that around is to be more grateful. Instead of looking at what you don't have, thank God for what you do have. Instead of complaining about what's wrong, thank God for what's right. I've talked to many people who've gone through disappointments. They've lost their jobs, their marriages, their health. It's difficult for them to see any reason to be grateful. But really, it's a matter of perspective. I heard of a man who complained that he didn't have any shoes until he met a man who had no feet. His perspective changed. He thought, you know what? Maybe I don't have it so bad. The truth is, somebody in the world would gladly trade places with you. Somebody would love to be able to breathe like you. Somebody would love to be able to walk like you. Somebody would love to be living where you live. Have you thanked God lately for your family, your friends, your health, the opportunities He's given you? If you're complaining about where you are, you won't get to where you want to be. If you're complaining about what you have, I believe God will not increase you with more. Complaining about an old car, a small house, a spouse won't get you anywhere. I like this phrase, if you complain, you will remain. But if you praise, you'll be raised. To keep your life in perspective, try making a list of all the things you're grateful for. Write down 10 things God has blessed you with. Put that list on your bathroom mirror. Every morning, read over that list 2 or 3 times. Do the same every night before you go to bed. Meditate on the good things God has done. Write down the times God showed up at that midnight hour and made a way where there was no way. Write down the time He protected you from that accident. The time He had you at the right place at the right time and you were promoted. The time the medical report said you wouldn't make it, but suddenly your health turned around. Write down the fact that you have healthy children, a roof over your head, and a loving spouse. When you meditate on the goodness of God, it will help you to have the right perspective and to release your faith. When your faith is released, God's power is activated. You will see Him show up and give you something else to put on your list. A middle-aged man named Nicholas was very down and discouraged, so he went to his minister. Nothing in my life is going right, he said. I have no reason to be excited, no reason to be thankful. The minister said, all right, let's do a little exercise. He took out a legal pad and drew a line right down the middle. Let's list all of your assets on this side, all the things that are right in your life. On the other side, we'll list all of your challenges, all the things that are bothering you. Nicholas laughed. I have nothing on my asset side. That's fine. Let's just go through the exercise, the minister said, adding, I'm so sorry to hear that your wife passed away. Nicholas looked up abruptly. What are you talking about? My wife didn't pass away. She's alive and healthy. The minister calmly said, oh, and he wrote down on the asset side, healthy wife. Next, the minister said, Nicholas, I'm so sorry to hear that your house burned down. My house burned down. Oh, and he added, place to live on the list of assets. The minister was on a roll. Nicholas, I'm so sorry to hear that you were laid off from work. "Pastor, where are you getting all this nonsense? I have a good job." The minister wrote, "A good job," on the list of assets. Finally, Nicholas took the list. "Can I see that?" After looking it over, he added a dozen more assets that he'd been taken for granted instead of being grateful for them. Nicholas left the minister's office with a much different attitude. What was his problem? He just needed to change his perspective. When he began to focus on the good in his life, he got his happiness and joy back. If you struggle staying encouraged and staying grateful, make this list of everything God's blessed you with. If you have your health, write it down as an asset. If your vision is good, write it down. The same with your job, your family, your friends, your children, all your other blessings. Make that list and go over it throughout the day. That will get your thinking going in the right direction. You have to realize every day is a gift from God. What a shame to live this day or any other day depressed, defeated, with no enthusiasm. We all have obstacles, we all have things to overcome, but our attitude should be, no, God is still on the throne. He's in complete control of my life. He said his plans for me are for good and not evil. So I'm not going to live this day defeated, depressed, focused on what I don't have. I'm changing my perspective. Thank God I'm alive. Thank God I'm breathing. Thank God I'm healthy. Thank God for my family. I'm living every day to the fullest. Some people feel burdened by their duties and responsibilities, but those too are gifts. They complain because they have to go to work or they have to take care of their kids. But you don't have